Unscripted.
Not only is today my birthday, but I woke up to some pretty good news and some very interesting news in regards to the PlayStation 5 and just what it means for the, for the future of the PlayStation 5 and what it means for the future of gaming in general. And I find this to be a very cool thing, a very incredible thing, and it just makes me absolutely ecstatic to see this kind of stuff happen. This was bound to happen at some point. We were going to see this, and now it's come out officially from AMD, and I think that it's really going to be something that everybody, if you're a fan of video games and great performing video games, this is going to help frame rates tremendously on the PlayStation 5 going forward, and I think it's going to be something that a lot of us kind of look to as like, wow, this was something that, how did we ever live without this before? And I think that that's something that, that all of us are going to be super excited about in general, as well as the future and things like that. So for me personally, I loved seeing this, and I absolutely loved, to be able to kind of read this and actually understand it, from a tech perspective, because I've actually talked about this kind of stuff slightly before, and this is something that I kind of wanted to get out there and let everybody know, hey, what's up, and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to get into it. Super happy birthday to me. Hey, shout out to everybody that gave me a birthday shout out themselves and wish me happy birthday. It does mean a lot. I'm Crapgamer. This is Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. Now, if you guys are looking for a way to help out a little crappy channel like mine, the best way to do it is a simple like. It means a lot to me personally, and again, it's completely free for you guys to do. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and all the subscribers in between. I really do think the world of you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for continuing to rock out with me. So we've all talked about this kind of stuff, and I'm going to go over it again. So it looks like the AMD equivalent to DLSS is actually being implemented very soon on the PlayStation 5. Now, you might wonder what that is. Okay, so if you look at what we saw way back a long time ago with the Unreal Engine 5 demo running on the PlayStation 5, nobody knew what the resolution was because that looked 4K to everybody, right? But the truth is they were utilizing DLSS or the equivalent of it, and it was a 1440p image, which basically what that does is it allows you to use a lesser image quality than 4K, and oftentimes it'll match it, it'll make it look 4K, or sometimes in even cases, according to Digital Foundry, even better than 4K. So wow, I mean, that's pretty incredible. And what this does is allows you to lower the initial actual resolution, take the strain off the GPU, and then allows you to actually do more things like, if you wanted to do better frame rate, a steadier frame rate, or ray tracing and 60 frames or something along those lines. That's what it basically enables you to do, and this is really cool. So NVIDIA may have a clear advantage over AMD thanks to its DLSS, but it seems that the company is holding back, as it has been stated that they are launching Fidelity FX Super Resolution feature when it's ready. This includes cross support for next generation consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Speaking to Linus of Linus Tech Tips, Linus confirmed that the reasoning as to why AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution has yet to release, and I'm going to link this article in the description. You guys can check it out and let me know what you think, of course. Apparently, rather than rushing it, Fidelity FX Super Resolution out the door on only one new top-end card, they wait for it to be cross-platform in every sense of the word. So they actually want it running on all of their GPUs, including the ones inside consoles, before they actually pull the trigger. It would have been nice to have it already by the time the cards launched, but as we saw with NVIDIA's DLSS 1.0 versus 2.0, it could be for the best. Now, for all you console players out there who don't know this, they do a really good job of explaining it. What DLSS and Fidelity FX software Super Resolution are, they're essentially a type of AI upscaling technique that uses machine learning to upscale lower resolution to higher res, all while maintaining the original performance. This means that the picture quality can look a whole lot better without the need to sacrifice frame rate. There are tons of other benefits as detailed on NVIDIA's website for their own DLSS. So they talk about it, and this is basically what you would get out of it. The results of DLSS vary a bit because each game has a different characteristic based on the game engine itself and the complexity of content and the time spent on training. Our supercomputer never sleeps, and we continue to train and improve our deep learning neural network even after a game's launch. When we have improvements to perform our image quality ready, we provide them to you via NVIDIA software updates. DLSS is designed to boost frame rates at high GPU workloads, i.e. when your frame rate is low and your GPU is working to full capacity without bottlenecks or other limitations. If your game is already running at high frame rates, your GPU's frame rendering time may be shorter than a DLSS execution time. In this case, DLSS is not available because it would not improve your frame rate. However, if your game is heavily utilizing the GPU, e.g. frames per second below 60 frames, DLSS provides an optimal performance boost. You can crank up your settings to maximize your gains. The exact number varies by game and what graphics settings are enabled. To put it more technically, DLSS requires a fixed amount of GPU time to run deep neural network that games run at a lower frame rate or higher resolutions benefit more from DLSS. For games running at a higher frame rate or lower resolutions, DLSS may not boost performance when your GPU's frame rendering time is shorter than what it takes to actually execute the DLSS model. Now, the interesting thing is I've actually seen various types of situations where games were running DLSS, and this is mostly on PC, but they'll be running something, say, at 1080p and it looks 4K, but they can run it at 120 frames looking 4K with ray tracing. So obviously the description that I just read was NVIDIA's version, though we do expect AMD to work on a similar fashion. So that's pretty exciting for console gamers as well. We get to see this, you know what I mean? This is something how everybody should be very excited for this in the future of the gaming and stuff like that. If you're just a PlayStation fan, then I think that you should be really, really excited for this, as it really does kind of indicate that the future that we're seeing is closer than we thought. And this is obviously something that I think that Sony really kind of wanted to get a hold of, just in general, because I think that this is going to help them tremendously. Again, it's almost pointless, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen a podcast. There's a developer in the community named Optimus Code. He does a lot of podcasts and talks about some of the benefits of stuff like this, and he always says it's basically a waste of your GPU and things like that when when you're actually trying to do native 4K. He says it's a waste. Most developers kind of agree to that, especially with how picture quality has improved, and now you have stuff like this. It's almost, you know what I mean? I know Microsoft really kind of pushed out that whole 4K thing and how that's supposed to be like this amazing thing, but at the end of the day, I do feel like what they've kind of nailed on the head here is that it's sort of a waste to go after native 4K when you can get much better performance and things like this. This is why you see something like Outriders when they test the demo, and it has slightly better resolution on Xbox Series X, but has a terrible frame rate, like it can't hold its frames, while the PlayStation 5 has a slightly less resolution but has steady frame rates. I think that's exactly what people kind of were looking at and sort of talking about when it comes to this kind of thing. So I find it to be pretty interesting, and I also find it to be a very good talking point. I guess a lot of people will probably want to talk about that in the future and things like that, but I think it's a very, very smart move to really go out there and sort of have this out there and be available for gamers. And listen, it's something that'll be on Xbox as well. And I actually implore Microsoft and Xbox developers to utilize it. Like, why go for native 4K stuff when you can actually have more ray tracing or better frames and look just as good as the native 4K? I think that's just a given and something that everybody kind of benefits from. So hopefully, folks, that's something that we can kind of get out there and kind of be made aware of. Like, I really do look forward to seeing exactly what's going to happen in the future with this, and I can't wait to see some of the face-offs. I want to see how well this thing can work on consoles. Obviously, I've seen it work on PCs and stuff like that before, those that are kind of that are kind of doing that. And like I said, it's really nice to see just everybody kind of come together and just have this really great thing coming, you know what I mean? So yeah, sounds really cool. I'm excited about it. I'm sure you guys are probably, now that you know a little bit about it, excited about it. At the end of the day, what's it going to do? It's going to help your games perform better, folks. That's what it's going to do. And I think that's exactly what I think most of us are wanting out of our next-gen consoles. You know what I mean? Like, give me my 60 frames or even my 120. You know, give it at 1440p utilizing the equivalent of DLSS, and I'll be good. Sound as a pound, baby. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I will link all of this in the description below. You guys can check it out, peruse it at your own particular leisure. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe, happy, and healthy, will you? Take care of one another, and just remember to have a good time gaming. That's what it's all about. If you guys ever want to hit me up on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, PSN just Crapgamer, Xbox Live, MOH like Medal of Honor, space Crapgamer. I try to get back to everybody as soon as possible. Really do appreciate the love and support and the birthday wishes. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.